Good morning. It is Saturday morning. Yep. My days are all messed up. With the holiday, then the garbage cans went out a day later. Came in a day later because I always, know I always know when it's Wednesday because they go out, but this week they went out Thursday. Anyway, my name is Laura at Laura Talk Softer. And I am basically retired, reallocating my energies. And so I have learned that it is hard to sometimes keep track of the day of the week. I used to think that was kind of like, can't you keep track of the day of the week? But, when you do have to really be someplace, you got to keep track of like when you need to be to work, And when I did work, it was like, because my shifts would change hours. And I had so many different jobs, I would have to remember what day it was. But this is going back decades and stuff. So anyway, I was watching the TV, a YouTube channel about the economy and all that. And I was just thinking about how things were like, just to me, so much easier than what people are going through now, and everybody has heard that, this is not anything that in my lifetime I've seen with this economy. It's just not. Now, I became independent in 1982, June of 1982. I moved out from home. I was 18 years old, had graduated from high school. The day I graduated, I moved out. I had a car that I had paid for myself, that I had worked during high school and made enough money, and I bought a used car. And I felt like I could do this. It was never even a thought that I would not be able to make it. I had a job already. I actually had 2 jobs, and it was enough, And I was paying my own way to go to college. I didn't have student loans. I was paying as I went. And I was thinking about like, wow, people can't do that now. I was working at a job. The minimum wage was $3.35 an hour. And my rent at my first apartment, it was a 1-bedroom, 1-bath. It was $250 a month. Now I made $3.35 an hour, but I also got tips, and it was a restaurant. And I did pretty good on tips. And so I cleared at least between my 2 jobs I had probably $800 to $850 a month. And I was paying, get it, $250 a month. I remember I ended up getting cable, and that was like $8 or $9 a month. I never even like budgeted for food because I worked at a restaurant. There just was always food. And I don't even remember what I ate. I don't remember really going to grocery stores too much. But gas wasn't a really big expense. And then I would drive to school, and there was a bridge toll, and to be able to go back and forth, a bridge toll. And that bridge clearly was 40 cents. 40 cents. You threw it in this little container. That same bridge now is going up. I think it's now right now going up. There were changes in some of the bridges is $8.50. Now, if you look at the minimum wage, I'm in California. I think here is like at some places, I think it's like closing into like $20 an hour or something. And I know some other places in the U.S. think, wow, that's a lot. But in relationship, think about it. Okay, let's say it's $20, even though I don't think that's the minimum wage here. I think it's less. It's just that I think fast food has to pay $20 an hour. But let's just pretend it's $20 an hour. At the rate with a bridge toll, 40 cents, $3.35 an hour, $8.50, $20, just the inflation of it. And, never were groceries so expensive. I can't believe it. I went to the store to have my New Year's Day gathering, and I didn't buy like really expensive, a lot of stuff, had hamburgers and hot dogs and, stuff. Just bought some stuff, had a couple of, well, I have a basket, so I can't say really bags, but I saw the person ahead of me. They had, they were bagging some stuff, and their groceries were like $340. And mine came up to, it was like $221. And it was like, I did not have that much stuff, but it was the hamburger meat, hamburger meat, which used to be, a pound of hamburger meat was like $4, $5, $6. It's like $12, $13. It's just, it's crazy, absolutely crazy, the price of stuff. But eggs did go down. I did get a dozen eggs for I think it was like $2.99 the other week, which that's a lot better than the $10 or whatever they were. But yeah, it's just the cost of stuff, the cost of everything. Just everything is so much more. I think about television, and this was going into the 90s. I would have cable and pay like $10 to $15 a month. I never had HBO and all that kind of stuff, but it just wasn't much, you know. I wasn't thinking like, oh my God, I got to pay my cable bill, or oh my gosh, you know, my car insurance is so much. And I used to, for prior to 1993, I used to pay out of pocket for my own health insurance. And it wasn't a significant portion of my income. I think it was like I paid $60 or something a month. And I have the same health insurance now. It's the same like company or whatever. I've always kept it. But yeah, so everything has changed, and it's just the wages just didn't keep up. We all know that, you know, and it's not that people haven't tried, you know, and it's not that people are lazy or they're not working hard enough. They're working harder than ever, but there is a lot of despair in jobs. People are treated like objects, like furniture, like somebody, if you don't want to do the job, somebody else will take it. You know, there's no loyalty with employers and employees. It's kind of just suck it up, buttercup. If you don't like it, hit the door, you know. And, you know, you don't have any reasons, you know, you don't have to give a reason to let somebody go, you know, as long as it's not a discrimination. But no employer is going to say, you know, I'm not hiring you because you're whatever the, you know, protective status, you know, areas are, because of, you know, race or gender and all that kind of stuff. You know, they're not going to tell you that, obviously. But, you know, we know that happens. We know it's in the workforce. But we know that nepotism is there. People have family they're going to give a job to before some stranger, you know, so sometimes it is who you know. But I had my breakfast, I had my eggs, and I did eat sardines. Do you guys like sardines? Anyway, I'm waiting for 30 minutes to brush my teeth. My public service announcement: after you eat, give your teeth 30 minutes for everything to, you know, settle. Make sure you drink water. You know, I had some coffee, so you want to drink water. It's a plastic glass, and this is like tap water. I'm drinking the city water, being brave. I don't live in Flint, Michigan, but I am in California, so that could be questionable. But I'm drinking water, and I'm just having a lot of faith. I don't know why I have so much faith in that water. The city has big potholes, failing sewer systems, but yummy. Let me have some water. No, it tastes like water to me. I know when I first came here, I couldn't drink the water. I had grown up on well water, and came to California, and to me it tasted like I was drinking like a swimming pool. But I don't even taste the chlorine, but I know they need it because it, you know, kills all the bugs. And hopefully they're putting enough in it. So I hope you guys all have a good day. I am here. I'm going to be waiting for my mama to get up. She said she wanted to take a bath this morning, and she wanted her bathroom nice and warm. So I got the heat blowing on in here, and it's getting too warm. But waiting for her to get up, and then she'll have breakfast. And I'm waiting to hear how my car is doing. It's in the intensive car unit shop. It was acting like I was going uphill, and it was acting like I was dragging a 1,000-pound ball behind it. And I guess it's the check engine light. I didn't know what the light meant. I don't know why they got to have pictures of stuff. To me, it looked like one of them old style root beer candies, that shape. And when I looked in the book, it said ignition system, but the guy at the shop said, oh, that's your check engine. It's, you know, telling you to check your engine. And then I was Googling, you know, auto Google. It's right up there with Dr. Google, and it could be many, many things. I had thought my car was it's total engine failure. I go straight for the biggest disaster, but it could be something as simple as an oxygen sensor, or a fuel filter, or a faulty gas cap. So keep my car in your thoughts and prayers. No, time will tell. And then I'll make a video about it, how much this is going to cost. But it is under warranty, and even having it checked, which was nice because it's like $200 and something or something to whatever they're doing, to check it, but they said you don't owe anything because this car's under warranty. So it's like, yay for not driving too many miles and making it not under warranty. Because easily, if I was somebody who drives a lot, I could have the over 100,000 miles, and I have 50 something thousand miles. And my car is like, got something going on. But I went in there with a big notebook of all the maintenance, so don't tell me I haven't maintained this car. And so I was showing them different stuff, like, could it be related to this? I wanted them to see that I have maintained this car, because a lot of times they try to get out of certain repairs if they like think that you haven't, taken care of your car. So it's always good to keep records. Another public service announcement. Anyway, so I'm sitting here in the Lazy Boy in Northern California, and by a window, looks cloudy and overcast out. We've had off and on rain. I have a big umbrella here at my mama's house, and I have to walk to the little house, and I got to wait for her to get up, and then I'm going to be walking because I don't have a car. But, yep. But I have legs that work, and I'm thankful. Have a good day.